I don't know how to start this video at all. Hello beautiful friends of mine, I'm Sherry Lindsay. My voice is like cracking and it's really annoying. I'm gonna see if I can like readjust right now. Oh my god, like I want to be really excited and energetic and like, you know, I just want to be as genuine myself as I can possibly be, but hello again. I'm just so nervous and I just keep greeting and you know, like I don't know how to get this out. Okay, let me do this. I'm Sherry Lindsay. I am a 22-year-old Chinese American, born and raised in New York, mostly New York, and I have borderline personality disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. If I'm laughing in the video, it's like the nervous laughter and also some like just try my hardest to be funny because I actually do think I'm hilarious. But that's how I cope with like stressful situations. I make joke of things, I make things light. But yeah, I was trying really hard to use YouTube as my creative outlet and make new videos every single Sunday for Sherry Sundays, and I was doing pretty well for like 1 or 2 videos, and I was making videos consistently, like, you know, every single week, just at different days of the week. But as soon as I try to get myself to be more consistent, like things in my life were falling apart, and what seemed like such a stress relief for me became this huge monster. Like I was so nervous to even go on YouTube, which is extremely silly. I just want to backtrack, you know, like I don't know how to organize this video. I wasn't really planning on making this video today. I was planning on talking about this somewhere near the future when I felt more comfortable. You know, recently I've been going through a lot of stress, and today I thought I should channel some of the anxiety and some of the stress that I have and try to do something positive out of it, which is making a video and just expressing myself. Okay, I just want to be very clear that this is not a good resource for like scientific, psychological, sourced and like cited facts about borderline personality. It's mostly about my personal experience with it and what I know about it and how it's affected me. I talk about it all the time with my boyfriend, and I talk about it all the time with my therapist, but outside of that, like my friends, my family, and like the public, it's not something that I hide, but it's something that I don't go into. I think a more gentle way for me to ease into the video is by just reading to you guys what borderline personality disorder is. Now, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, borderline personality disorder is a mental illness marked by an ongoing pattern of varying moods, self-image, and behavior. These symptoms are often result in impulsive actions and problems in relationships. People with borderline personality disorder may experience intense episodes of anger, depression, and anxiety that can last from a few hours to a few days. Yeah, and like for signs and symptoms, it says people with borderline may experience mood swings, display uncertainty about how they see themselves and their role in the world. As a result, their interests and value can change quickly. People with borderline also tend to view things in extremes, such as all good or all bad. Their opinions of others can change quickly. An individual who is seen as a friend one day may be considered an enemy or a traitor the next, and these shifting feelings can lead to intense and unstable relationships. Before I was diagnosed, I've never heard of borderline. I kind of thought that I might have maybe bipolar disorder. I thought that I just had major depression and anxiety, but really like my depression and my anxiety are symptoms of my borderline and my PTSD. A few days after I was diagnosed, I called up my best friend, like one of my closest friends, and I called in and I just apologized because so many things made sense to me now of why I treated my friends in a certain way, why I was so quick to cut off people in my life over things that in hindsight are not that important. important and not, you know, that drastic that I had to cut people out of my life. Oh my god, like this is like, none of this is making any sense. I'm really sorry, like this is not an educational video at all. Like this is not, I'm so stressed because I don't know how to make sense right now. I have a huge fear of abandonment, and that's what a lot of my life and my relationships have been revolving around, like me trying my best to avoid being abandoned and feeling abandoned. And you know, these are all conversations I've had with my therapist and my psychiatrist, but it's just a lot easier right now to kind of like get these thoughts in order by reading off of like the National Institute of Mental Health. Other signs or symptoms include efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment, such as rapidly initiating intimate relationships or cutting off communication with someone in anticipation of being abandoned. So I've done that. I form friendships super quickly because I'm an extrovert. Like I enjoy being with people, I enjoy making friends, I enjoy forming new connections, but also because I have a huge fucking fear of loneliness and I don't ever want to be alone, so I surround myself with as many friends as I possibly can when I can. But the second that something feels off, or like if like I might be jealous that a new friendship is interrupting my current relationship with someone, I get aggressive and I get angry and I feel hurt and I feel betrayed, which is ridiculous, by the way. Like there's no need for that. I just want to I want to start this video over because I really am not making any freaking sense. Okay, other symptoms include impulsive and often dangerous behaviors such as spending sprees, unsafe sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, and binge eating. Now, luckily, I don't do a lot of those, but I grew up with a very unhealthy relationship with money. Sounds weird, I know, but my mom is a single parent. She's a single mother and she's a first-generation immigrant from China. Then she came to New York all by herself and she took care of me mostly by herself my entire life. So money was always extremely stressful, and money is stressful for a lot of families. But for me, it's a huge trigger. I don't know if you can tell, you know? Even just like talking about it, it's really difficult. You know, there's other things like self-harming behavior such as cutting, recurring thoughts of suicidal behaviors or threats, intense and highly changeable moods, chronic feelings of emptiness, inappropriate intense angers or problems controlling anger. So that's just a few things from the website, and not everyone with borderline will display every single symptom, and it also is a bit dangerous to self-diagnose or to, I'm not sure what the term is, but I know there's a term for like when you diagnose other people without you being an actual professional based on symptoms that they might fit into. It's just dangerous to do that. A lot of people in my life, friends, acquaintances, they deal with some sort of like episodes of anxiety or depression. I have certain people in my life that completely do not get it at all, and they take it very lightly, and they, you know, like they don't really get that I'm sick. It just sounds so silly when I say it. And you know, these aren't like great friends, but everyone's opinions of me weigh so much because I don't have a very strong sense of self yet. So, you know, I feel like I'm constantly looking for outside validation, and I listen so much to what other people's opinions of me is, and I don't need to do that. But, you know, there are people in my life that brush off whatever it is that like I'm feeling, and like I'm just not taken seriously. Thankfully, on the other side of things is I have very wonderful, amazing friends, like real friends that genuinely care so much about me, and they're so understanding and so incredibly supportive. And even though like my friends don't know exactly what my illness means, what my treatments are, what I need to do to get up in the day, like they're proud of me for just being able to like just to be myself. And that's the type of people that you need to surround yourself with, because the more positivity you have in your life, you just really need to surround yourself with people that you know genuinely care and appreciate you. Or else if you have a fragile sense of self like I do, you start believing the negative people in your life. No one is harder on me than I am on myself. I love my mom. I love my mom more than anything. But we do have an unhealthy relationship, and there has been a few things that has really messed me up because of the environment that I grew up in. So, you know, my mom is very harsh on me. She has very high expectations of me. And a lot of Asian parents do, you know, they have very high expectations, especially if they work their ass off to get their kid to America. Like, they're expecting the world from you. But it's not healthy, and it doesn't foster a healthy sense of self, and it doesn't foster confidence. It just constantly makes you self-doubt. All of this is just to say that, you know, my mom has huge, high, completely unrealistic expectations of me, and that's completely transferred to myself, where I have even crazier expectations of myself. Changes in your life can be extremely stressful. So today's October 1st. I graduated mid-May, and since graduation, my life has had so many drastic changes. So I'm completely amazed by how I'm holding up. I'm very proud of myself for managing and for surviving, and it's just funny because my whole life my instincts have been to be on survival mode. It was constantly just, what can I do to survive? And after graduation, it was the same thing where like stress was extremely heightened. I had to take care of myself completely. Like, I'm on my own financially. And on top of being on my own financially, I need to support my mom financially. That puts a lot of stress on someone who doesn't have a trust fund, doesn't have a backup plan, just graduated art school. But I work extremely hard. So in the few short months of summer, I managed to get my life together, and I managed to get all of my bills paid on time. I managed to be able to make enough to help my mom with some of her bills. I am trying really hard to pay off some of the debt that I have, and because I am extremely impulsive, like, being impulsive is irresponsible because you're not planning ahead, you're not thinking very clearly, you're making choices on the spot. And that's something about me that I'm very aware of. I'm extremely impulsive. But, you know, like, I'm a go-getter. I see something I want, or I have a goal in mind, and I get it. Like, I'm very stubborn, and I make sure I get it. And that comes from me growing up constantly being in survival mode. So after about 1 week with a clear peace of mind of knowing that I have my foot in architecture, I have great people in my life, I'm trying really hard. This is gonna sound silly because it's like, why are you crying over this? But I'm trying really hard to be a good friend and to socialize, and it's hard. I have a new puppy in my life, and her name is Paige. She's one of the most amazing and best things that's ever happened to me. But having a new puppy is very stressful, very time consuming. Like I mentioned, like, any changes in your life is a trigger for stress. I spent the past few weeks extremely depressed, and it's not something that my friends see, or at least I don't think so, because I don't like to show that. And there's like silly things like not being able to make it to one of my closest friends' housewarming parties because I have work and I have to make sure that I'm watching my dog after work. I've had stress from not sleeping enough, been over-caffeinated. I very thankfully haven't fallen into the trap of suicidal thoughts. I've been in therapy for a year now, so it's a big milestone, you know, to be able to maneuver my mind out of that dark, deep hole of just thinking about the sweet abyss of death. as proud of myself as I am, the other part of me that's really hard on myself and doesn't let myself celebrate anything that I've achieved because I constantly think I could be doing better, I should be doing better. I'm mad at myself because why am I celebrating not feeling like I want to kill myself? Why am I not there yet in life where I'm just so happy and content, and like I just feel like other people don't have to deal with that, because healthy people, when they're upset, they don't turn to, well, if I just killed myself, everything would be fine. Healthy people have better ways of coping and managing with their stress. I'm mad at myself for not being there yet. Like I mentioned, unrealistic expectations. Because you don't get fixed from 1 year of therapy. I am an incredibly blessed and lucky individual. I've accomplished so much, and I'm only 22, and I forget that. I forget that I'm a kid. Like, I'm a young adult, still figuring things out, but yet I feel like I know it all. It all contradicts each other, honestly. Like, all of my thoughts just contradict each other. Okay, my camera overheated, so it just completely cut off. And that gave me a good chunk of time to calm down. There's a lot more I want to say. There's a lot more that I want to touch on. And, I do want to get more educational and helpful in case there are people out there watching this that are going through similar or the same thing as I am. I try very hard to be a positive person because all I ever want in my life is just peace and happiness. It's just so hard to have accomplished so much and get everything that you thought you wanted and yet still feel empty. But it's a process, and I'm learning and I'm gaining tools to help myself get healthier. My heart is pounding right now. If you feel like you can gain anything out of therapy, you should go. As ashamed as I am of a lot of my choices and a lot of the things I do and a lot of things about me, I am incredibly proud and happy that I go to therapy. Your insurance most likely covers it, so check into it. Don't be lazy. I know what it's like to not make appointments because you're scared of making a phone call. I know how hard it is to fight through that anxiety, and that's the thing. Anxiety is completely irrational. I just want you to be able to muster up whatever courage and whatever strength you have, because I know you are strong, and don't be scared to ask for help. I didn't ask for help until I was at my very last breaking point, till I was about to end everything. And you don't need to be like that. It doesn't need to be a life or death situation. There's a lot of good in the world. It's a little harder for some of us to find it, but it's there, so don't give up. I'm gonna try to fight through my anxiety and email back my boss, because he sent me an email a few hours ago, and I've been having like the most stressful morning, and I've been dodging all of my responsibilities, and I'm recording this video. But it really did help me feel a little better. Like, I don't even remember what I said throughout this video, but I feel a lot better. Like, I feel like I have so much weight off of my chest. And I'm gonna try my best to finish off the rest of the day strong. And if not, there's always tomorrow. I don't know if any of you have seen my Dubai video, but I put part 1 of me being stranded in Dubai, and I'm releasing part 2 as soon as I possibly can. So keep an eye out for that. I promise it will happen. My goal for October is to be easier on myself and practice more self-acceptance. We could be complete strangers, but if you ever need me for anything, I would try my best to be there for you. Is it appropriate to ask you to subscribe? There's new videos every Sunday, and they won't be this sad, I promise. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.